You know, I just moved the drum set. It could be fun. Mike's here. You can grab the camera. You can grab
Perk, you'll play us out.
Yeah, I guess Mike, at the very end of the show, grab the actual computer and walk into the drum room, and I'll do a little solo. Say that again. At the end of the show, I'm going to end it with a drum solo.
It's a good thing that I always have the special credit thanks always written down.
Mike?
Ready to
You
go.
guys say hi to Mike?
That's why.
Mike, there's Mike.
Hi, Mikey.
How are you?
I'm good.
So he'll grab the computer, and then I'll play a little jam.
Is there enough?
Oh yeah, we'll just unplug this and go to regular.
Okay. The internal mic.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now?
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys, we're going to go live on YouTube right now. Not on Facebook, but on YouTube.
Okay, let's do it.
Set up in like a regional spot.
We're live on YouTube, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another Rock and Talk show. Don't forget to like us, follow us, spread the word. Instagram, YouTube, click the notifications bell, all of that fun stuff. We got a great show tonight. How's everybody? How you guys doing? You guys good?
Gliding into ease.
Gliding into, yeah.
Ease. Hey, you know what? I was watching the Bob Dylan movie on the way home from Philly, and he said late night, Greenwich Village, sitting with a great Irishman who's a folk master craftsman. He told Bob Dylan, no fear, no envy, no meanness. And this was back in 64, 62. So if you can live your life without fear and envy and without being mean to people.
That's right.
And I mean, it's not easy. You can't say you can do it every day. You can try as hell, like hell. I mean, it's hard not to be envious, or it's hard not to have fear, but yeah, it should be easy not to be mean to people.
Who is this great Irishman?
His name's on the tip of my tongue, but in Greenwich Village, he was the one who actually wrote the lyrics and the arrangement to House of the Rising Sun, but he took it from a traditional Irish. And then Bob recorded it first, even though he was doing it in Greenwich. He got pissed off because everyone thought he ripped off Bob. And then Bob got pissed off because he thought everyone thought he ripped off the Animals. Why are you doing Eric Burdon tune? He's like, no, I'm doing Irish Bob's tune or Irish John. But no fear, no envy, no meanness, Bob. That's how you live your life, Bob. So I landed, and I feel like, those are three good things to try to achieve on a daily basis.
I agree.
Yep. Good way to start is to realize that the only thing that's real is you're talking, right? That moment. I always say this. 5 minutes ago, an illusion. 5 minutes from now, an illusion. So when you have fear, you're identifying with a thought, unless somebody's chasing you or something's going on, right? It's all that stuff in our mind. So getting rid of fear is a good thing. So if you,
when I was doing the the Harold Robinson Foundation, and we would bring kids up to our camp, we would end every weekend with what we called tradition. And tradition was we would pick a couple kids from each group along with a couple of adults that would come up, and they would talk in front of the whole group about what the weekend meant. And we had this one woman who, African-American woman, tatted up, hardcore, grew up in the projects, didn't want to come. And she got up and she basically was crying, but she said fear is nothing more than false expectations appearing real. And it stuck with me like to this day, because she was very quiet the whole weekend. Like, she said nothing the whole weekend. And then at the end of the weekend, she got up there and she said all this really deep stuff that was just really mind-blowing. But fear is nothing more than false expectations appearing real.
that's it. Because remember, reality is the only thing that's real is what you're doing at that moment. Remember, like time is illusion. The whole thing is an illusion. It's when we identify with that thought and think, oh, the world's falling. That's why the goal is if you can stop yourself, all the day, every day, as often as you can, ask yourself, where am I right now? And you put your attention on, you see you're sitting in this room, I'm sitting here, and you ask this question, am I feeling any anxiety, tension, or fear? If I'm feeling any of those, it's because I'm identified with an illusion, a thought in my head. It's not real because I'm sitting here drinking my kombucha, talking to you guys. No lions are chasing me. Everything's okay.
But also,
But I could be suffering.
But the other big thing is fear is just another emotion. It's the same as joy, happiness. It's just an emotion that you're not fearful of those other emotions. It's just another emotion, and there's nothing to worry about it. You have to go through it.
Yes.
Actually, that is true, but is actually in the chemical sense, brain chemistry.
Mhm.
Fear is the same chemical as excitement, and is how we interpret our world gives us either fear or excitement.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, if you think about it, if you're a dog and you're getting pushed to the edge of a plane, your canine sense as a dog says, no, I don't want to jump. But a person can make a choice. This is exciting. I've got a parachute. I'm going to jump. Or hell no, I'm going to get as far as away from my can. I'm a dog right now. Get me away from the cliff. My canine sense cooked in. I didn't jump out of the plane.
A dog right now? Only then?
Sometimes, like I've played with the sometimes I don't know if I have a choice.
Hey,
Like if I had
gotta
a choice,
jump.
I wouldn't be feeling like this right now.
You got to jump.
Right.
it's for sure easier said than done. That's
Oh, yeah.
a fact. Because
That mind, your ego can make you go crazy, boy.
yeah,
It's like can make you
mine's making me go
Suffer,
crazy
suffer,
right
suffer,
now
suffer.
as we
if
sit
you put
here,
too much,
as
like,
we
you know,
speak.
Oh,
Too
no.
much pressure on you don't put too much pressure on the performance, and then you're up there performing with your friends. It's a gas. Or why did you what's the anxiety for? You're just having a good time with your friends.
Imagine all the stories about super amazing performers that actually experience great fear before they go on stage, and then they go and kill it.
Guess what time it is,
Barbara
guys?
Streisand,
Girl.
she's like that, right? I've heard Barbara Streisand is always fearless.
Guess what time it is?
Oh,
All right, you guys ready?
yep.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Do this.
Sucks.
The Rock and Talk Show, Beyond Backstage, with your hosts, Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss.
And there it is, our brand new intro. Welcome to the Rock and Talk Show. I'm the Moss Man. Let me quickly introduce our staff, my co-hosts here on
Your
the Rock
slaves.
and Talk Show.
I got a staff.
We've got the one and only Sheila Conlon, who we missed last week or last show because she was filming in Hawaii. We've got Norwood Fisher from Fishbone, Kenny Olson, Kid Rock, Twisted Brown Trucker Band, Scott Page, Pink Floyd, and Stephen Perkins, Jane's Addiction. How we all doing?
Great.
Hello,
All
Governor.
right.
Hello.
Give it her,
You
man.
know, there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of Hawaii, and I'm happy you're back. But I was wondering, do you guys remember the one show that was in Hawaii? It was a detective, Magnum PI. Was that what it was
Right.
called?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I
Magnum.
thought you were talking about Hawaii 5-0.
Hawaii
Hawaii 5-0.
Exactly. I was gonna say,
I forgot.
no, I was talking 5-0 because the drum fell.
Oh yeah, Hawaii
The drum
5-0
fell,
had
man.
Right.
Hawaii 5-0 had the best drum soundtrack.
That's right.
Okay, so when I was there in Hawaii, I was working with one of the best cinematographers, photographers that does Hawaii 5-0. All the new shows now, all the old shows, Avatar, Waterworld. He's
Wow.
one of the world-class underwater and aerial photographers and cinematographers. So I had a blast with him. He's like, and he just did the show 100-Foot Wave. That's on HBO. But anyway, it was really hard to work there but it was
I
an
watched that 100-foot wave. That was insane. That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So Mike Prickett, the guy, he was in episode 5. He's the one that's on crutches now. So he became paralyzed.
Oof.
When he was shooting a commercial in Hawaii underwater, one of the clients wanted to go down underwater and watch. And so he did. And then Mike looked over and saw him struggling. He saved his life, but saving his life, he got the bends. And the bends means you become paralyzed. So, but this guy to this day says that happened. He's paralyzed, but he's on crutches and he shoots from the helicopters. He's underwater. He's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
If anyone ever wants a detailed description of what the bends is, actually called decompression sickness,
Yeah.
I'm happy to give a detailed breakdown of what it is, how it works, and what happens someday. So
Did you have it? No.
I've never had the bends, but I am deeply familiar with it because I am a scuba diving instructor.
Yeah.
And I learned and used to teach people how to avoid the bends.
Right. It's horrible. But you know what? This guy does not give up. He's amazing at what he does. It's unbelievable. So anyway, yes, it was a hard job, but someone had to do it.
Well,
Yeah,
we
no,
missed you, Sheila. We goofed around without you. We got to go ahead, Scott.
It kind of felt a little bit like Mom was away, right? It was like it was the guys got to hang out and tell dirty jokes and stuff, things we couldn't say before.
As if you guys don't do that already. Come on.
No, we do that right in front of you.
And it was a month ago when we had Scott Butnick. It was such a serious and an interesting conversation on how to help and enlighten the world. And then 2 weeks ago, we had Darren Pfeiffer, one of the great spirits from Canada. He took himself from Canada to Hollywood, and he's completely made it in two different countries as a superstar. And Pfeiffer is a 180 from Budnick, but what the heck, we had both, and that's what the shows are about.
Yeah.
And he's a cool cat, and we had some great conversation about music, drumming, rock and roll sessions,
Karaoke.
We saw his videos, which with Tony Hawk, which was like a mind blow. It sounded good, it looked cool. I mean, it was a quality, interesting, and it went somewhere I had no idea where it would go, but it went somewhere. We landed there safely and we got home, and it was a good show.
It was fun. And then we got to hang with Darren in person at Fishbone's show, which was the SoCal Hoedown down in San Pedro on the docks. And after the show, Darren came and hung with me. We went to our friend Fernando Pullum's house. It was his 60th birthday. And Darren came and hung out, and it was great. And Darren's going to have Fernando on his show.
Oh, nice.
Wow, we had Fernando on our show.
We had Fernando a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So, thank you, Darren, for doing our show. Yeah. Congratulations on all the stuff that you do. Your karaoke is a rocker. And we'll see you soon, D. All right.
So did you guys survive? Did you guys survive without me on that show?
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I had to go. Tough. I actually had to leave town after the show, and I was very sad that you weren't there to kind of give me the bon voyage. But, I made it over to Kentucky and Philadelphia with Jane's, and we did some damage. I feel very good.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy. And it's like, it's like the best vitamin shot, seeing people react to your music and being with friends and getting home safe. So
yeah, it was great. I saw some clips, man. It was smoking.
Yeah.
You guys sounded great.
Thank you.
Really good. Did like nothing, like you've been playing all the time.
Yeah, it's been 4 years since we've done any gigs. We did about 3 or 4 rehearsals. David Moss went to one of them, and we gave him a pair of headphones, and he listened to the band. And we did that, but there was 45,000 people, so that was like a little different. Moss got a single show, so he was very lucky.
Which, by the way, was pretty freaking epic. So thank you for that. It was good, and it was cool because the headphones, I could switch the mixes. I could listen to Dave's mix. I could listen to Chris's mix. I could listen to Steve's mix. It was pretty cool. It was awesome. And it's
I don't even have that
amazing.
opportunity. Yeah, I don't even have that opportunity.
Well, the other thing I noticed on the last show, because I went back and watched it, was we had Norwood in a van with a bunch of dudes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. We
How
had
did I miss
Fishbone.
that? I was like, what?
Fishbone after the Milwaukee Summer Fest on our way to go do the Riot Fest. And
That's
it was,
right.
That was fun.
yeah,
That
running
was
with
fun.
the devil. Running with the devil was quite.
That was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. That was great, dude. That was
That was
awesome.
funny, man.
So
That was good.
listen, tonight we have a very, very special guest, a friend of all of ours, an amazing, talented musician, touring the world for 30 years with his band, with his incredible band, Ozomatli. Would you please welcome to the Rock and Talk Show, the one and only Asdru Sierra, who's warming up right now. There he is.
I wish
He doesn't know he's live yet. Asdru, you are here. Maybe Asdru will play us out. Hey, welcome to the
Great.
Rock and Talk
Hey.
Show. Asdru,
Yeah.
what up?
Oh yeah.
All right. He's got his
How are you?
flugelhorn ready. God, oh man.
Don't ask for Chuck Mangione music.
No, we won't. We were gonna go with Kenny G.
Yeah, right. I want to hear about Carlos Santana. Yes, we'll get into that.
Well, welcome.
Asdru, how you doing, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. Just kind of living a dream right now. It's weird, you know.
Why is that? What's the dream?
Why is that? Yeah.
Yeah, what's
Oh,
the dream?
Working with Carlos. I mean, it's really something else. He literally, his son. I know his son really well, and I've known Carlos since when we first toured with him. But he, Salvador called me up. He goes, "Hey, my dad wants to talk to you." I was like, "What? For what? What'd I do?" And then
Exactly.
next thing I know,
You did it all good. You did it right.
yeah. Next thing I know, I'm in a plane and it's all fancy and like, it was, yeah, he treats his musicians really well so that when you're on stage, there's no excuse. And he handles his band. He learned from the school of Miles Davis.
Yep.
Okay.
So I got some music, but I mean, you just have to look on iTunes, right? And I learned as much as I could from his repertoire, and I got a set list, and I just jumped up there. And
That was it. No rehearsal, just showed up. Wow.
No rehearsals. There's sound check, and you better know your shit. Can you cuss here? I'm sorry.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Sure.
Yep.
You know what? It's
Oh.
amazing because this is a band interviewing musicians. That's what the show is really is. And of course David and Sheila. Sheila's a wonderful dancer. David plays guitar and he produces music, in a sense, big concerts. You know that. But man, the fact is, when you get around people that obviously did it since Woodstock, you're standing next to them.
Wow.
And we're old now. I'm 54. I'm not sure where you're at. So these cats, are whatever. They're timeless.
Yeah.
How do you feel, man? You must go to sleep with a big grin, like a mushroom grin. Like
Well, it's a mixture of shitting your pants and being really happy at the same time.
Yep.
'Cause,
Some
I mean,
people get really happy when they shit in their pants. Just saying, but
Wait, that's another show. That's another show. That's a whole other
you
show.
could always wear diapers on stage just for that moment.
That's it. Are you playing trumpet too? Are you playing your horn and stuff?
Yeah.
Is it a section?
No, right now it's just me and the keyboard player, and yeah, and it's like he really wants me to sing and play trumpet. So
Nice.
Hey,
and I play one mean Guido too. So and some tambourine. So
Well, you got-
Tambourine. That's my thing. Tambourine.
Yeah. And who's in the band now? Who's in the band?
well, you got Tommy, who the other guitarist who used to tour with Gloria Estefan for like a couple decades. You got Dave Matthews, the keyboard player, organist.
Yeah.
He doesn't like saying keyboard; he plays organ.
Okay.
From Power.
Wow.
Buddy Strong. Is that
He's
who?
got of course, the amazing Cindy Blackman
Oh
Santana.
yeah, we love
Love
Cindy.
And I just
She's-
did a wonderful a movie with her, and she is so giving and such a spirit. And then you get on the drum set, she's a beast.
Yeah.
She is.
So she was the one that was in that movie with you.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
I don't know if you've
Cindy was, yeah, she was with Lenny Kravitz for a long time. She's done so much. She's amazing woman, amazing talent.
And then is there a percussionist separate?
Oh yeah, there's Carl Pedazo, who's been there for like a few decades, and then there's Paoli. Paoli is this guy from Puerto Rico who is a monster.
Yeah,
He's this little guy that is just huge.
that's
And-
right.
And the thing is and then there's Andy Vargas, who's my homie from forever. It's funny, when we first toured with Santana as Ozomatli, I was there for his first day on the gig, and he was like 20, I think, and he's been in there ever since. And he's just like, everybody is so on point. I don't mind being the worst musician in a band. Everybody on here is so awesome. Like Benny Redfield, oh my God, Benny on bass. He's with Miles Davis and everything. I mean, the collection of musicians that Carlos has is incredible, because it's like I said, he always talks about his conversations with Miles and how he comes from the school of Miles Davis. He gets the most amazing musicians together, and he throws you up there.
That's it happened. Yeah.
wow. And how long are you guys out for? What's the link? Are you on a tour, or are you just doing some days?
Yeah. Well, I had to jump off for the last couple of days because they got 2 more shows in Oklahoma, and today's Andy's birthday, so they're celebrating there without me. You know, so I came home for a cruise ship gig with Ozomatli. We're doing this cruise ship thing right off of Long Beach, and yeah, so it's called this Super Legends. I think it's like War and
Oh yeah, Super Legends. Yeah, my friends produced that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you know who's on it?
Andy DJs for when we were going to do our living show. Andy DJs for the guy that has the taco truck.
Right.
Yeah.
That whole taco thing, which we were going to do. So I didn't get a chance to hang.
I wanted to back up a little. What was your first instrument? What age and what part of town?
Well, I lived in LA almost my whole life. I'm
Okay.
like third or fourth generation here. And my first instrument was voice, and everybody in my family was a singer.
Oh.
And that was kind of rough on me. So I decided to spite everybody. And sorry.
We lost you. There you
Oh,
are.
man.
I was going to say, man, he transformed right into it.
That was pretty cool.
That was
That's
kinda cool.
awesome.
Like, wow, look at that.
Sorry,
It's like
about
an
that.
NFT right there.
Crossroads, man. He's at the crossroads.
Yeah.
That was.
That my Skull and Bones came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, you know, I just started playing trumpet because I heard my dad showed me a James Brown record, and I was just kind of hooked on that, you know? So I wanted to play trombone. And, you know, I don't know if you know what it was like in public school back then. You kind of had to run for the instruments. There was only 3 trombones in my class. So I ended up with a cornet, you know, and I ended up playing trumpet. And that ended up being pretty cool. But
The coil of torture. I
So
call it.
that was a Fred. You were lit up by the Fred Wesley sound.
yes, Fred Wesley.
Right.
I was more
Hey,
Fred.
wait. And while we're in the James Brown zone, can we give it up for Pee Wee Ellis?
Yeah, baby.
Brethren just passed. You
Amazing,
know?
man. It's like we're losing the greats. When I was young, you look, there was BB King, Miles was still alive, Elvin was still alive when we were young. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now it's just like chipping away at the stone. And then Charlie Watts, now they're really stoned. Now the
Oh,
fucking
right.
rockers
Right.
are tipping, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, the Miles Davis documentary won the Emmy. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Oh,
I don't know if
cool.
anyone saw it, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
You need
Yeah, I
something to
saw
hold
it.
you.
It's
You need
really
something
good.
to hold the bathroom door open. Some Emmy might work.
So wait, how old were you when you picked up the trumpet?
I was 12.
Hmm.
12. I was 12.
Now-
And
I used to be a trumpet player, and like I said, I call it the coil of torture because that thing, man, you can't miss a day, right? I mean, You like, it's like, being a saxophone, I can get away. I can not play for a week and I can pick it up and I can at least get through the gig. But the trumpet's the worst. Do you find that the same, or can you just be off for a few days and pick it up and play, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I can be off for a long time.
And just pick it up and play?
Yeah, my teacher hated me for that.
Wow.
He would always
I
tell
hate
me,
you
like,
for that.
if you would only practice, it would be amazing, he would say.
So you
I
have a
want to have a
natural
life,
talent.
man. I want a life.
Right.
I want a life.
But that's a natural talent. to
Yeah,
play
big
that
time.
instrument, right? So
Yeah.
where do
don't
you
know.
think you got that from? What do you think gave you that gift?
I don't know if it's a gift, man. It's kind of a curse because it keeps me from practicing,
No, but
you get
I
kind
hardly
of road
practice
chopped
either.
after a while. You
Well,
get,
right.
because when you're home, I mean, I always had kids and a wife, and I had like when I was home, there's no practicing. Had to hang out and be a dad, and that was a rule that we kept. We wouldn't skimp on the kids. And with Ozo, there was a good chunk of time, like of 10, 12 years, where I remember doing my taxes and we had 272 days.
Wow. It's a lot of days in a row.
Punk rock.
So yeah, I didn't need to practice as much in those
No.
years.
Yeah,
And I could
yeah.
do my-
Sometimes when you don't practice for a long time, I find I'm much more creative. Sometimes you just got to walk away from it and build a tolerance back up. So when you do grab your instrument, it's new and refreshing sometimes. So I don't
Today,
blame you.
But with Carlos, I have to practice.
Yes.
That's what I discovered. Is
Carlos is the man.
listen, today is Buddy Rich's birthday. He would have been 104, the greatest drummer
Wow.
on top of the pyramid, the thing that changed everybody. And he started at 4, and he was famous on vaudeville at 4 for drumming.
Wow.
And there's pictures of him as a sailor boy with a drum. So they asked him, and he today would have been 104. I think he died in his mid 60s. But they asked him before he passed, how much did you practice? And he goes, are you kidding? I've been playing since I was 4. Gigs. He goes, I remember practicing once in my lifetime.
No.
I
Really?
was 4 years old and I died at 60 something. I mean, they're never practiced.
Yeah, I hit.
Only gigs.
Wow.
That's what happens. You just hit a certain point, and that's when you really find your own voice.
Yeah.
We're talking about Carlos Santana. He's a prime example of somebody. When you hear Carlos play on the guitar, he hits one note, and it's like, oh, here goes my man Carlos playing. It's like
Carlos and that sustain.
God, I remember back in.
Go
Go
I
ahead.
was just saying, I remember reading an article when I was just a kid, and Carlos Santana, saying that's the best compliment any guitar player could ever get is to be able to be heard in a few notes, to be able to say that's so and so. And this is back in the 70s when I read this article. But I mean, Carlos is the poster child of that. He has such an amazing, unique sound, but it's beautiful.
But it comes back to the professionalism and like if you do it over and over, and as a dancer, I did it. So yes, you practice, but if you're performing all the time, once you hit that stage, it has to be perfect. There's no option. It has to be perfect.
Well, except for the option when it isn't perfect.
Yeah, but
Then you have your beautiful
Then
mistakes,
it's like, ooh.
as Kenny would call it.
I'm all about the beautiful mistakes. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It was great. I mean, that was the thing about back in the 70s, man. I would work at least 6-7 nights a week. I mean, for months and months, 6 nights, 7 nights, just constantly, because there was just club gigs. That's how we lived. Hey, and man, we used to get $100 a night in those days. Boy, that scale sure changed.
Hey,
over
we're
those
back to
40
that
years.
now, right? We're back
Same
to
money.
that now.
That's one thing that never
Yeah.
moved with inflation was the musicians pay for a
There's something
club. It's actually gone down because some of the ones now pay you $50, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But you know what? Carlos Santana came from a time when anybody that you knew of had a unique voice.
Right.
Like all the people that we sit around and talk about have unique voices in their instruments. We don't talk about the people who cookie cutter sound like the next guy over there, right? And actually, when I'm right here, every musician on here, we're bros, and we all come from bands or our own unique styles. Are like you see us coming, you hear us coming. You know, so
Totally.
you know, it's
That's cool.
That's always been one of the most important things, right? I remember Michael Smotherman said, you got to wear your own clothes, right? You got to wear your
I
own
remember
clothes, not somebody else's.
First time I heard when we did Ozomatli when we were on tour, on Warp Tour, and I'll tell you, I was blown away. You talk about a group of people that all have their own voice together playing was just was amazing. I was going to ask you what year was that when you guys went out with Santana first, opening up for them?
It was back in 1998.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long after we did Warp Tour, wasn't it?
No, it was like the next tour. Actually, I remember
that was.
Tour, and then we did the Offspring tour, and that was kind of a disaster. And then we ended up.
So you guys went from drinking beers on top of our RV to open up for Santana. That's what I'm talking about.
The catering was a little better. Yeah.
Tell us who is or tell us about the band Ozomatli. How does that
Ozomatli.
Ozomatli. Okay, so I gave
Motley.
I can't say it properly. So help me say it properly. And tell our audience, who is this amazing band?
Ozomatli, like Motley Crue. Ozomatli, Ozomatli. And it represents that name comes from the Aztec calendar. It's the icon of a monkey is on there. He's kind of the god of the harvest. He's kind of like the equivalent of Pan in many ways. But he's a monkey, and they called him the god of dance, the god of movements. He's the orchestrator of the jungle. And there in the beginning there was 14 of us, and then it went down to 12, and then 10, and then 9, and then 8, and now there's 6.
I remember the first time I actually saw Ozomatli. It was up at Wavy Gravy's ranch, the picnic. I think that's where we first met, and that was, I don't even know what year it was, but that was in the mid 90s, cool. And I was blown away because I heard this sound, like we're waiting for the band to come on, and we heard this sound off in the distance. We're like, what the hell is that? And where's it coming from? And like, you guys came around the back of the crowd and through the middle of the crowd and up onto stage. And I was like, man, I've never seen anyone do anything like that. And from that moment on, we became friends, and I've been a longtime fan, love the band. But what I think Ozomatli does better than just about any band I've ever seen is connect with the audience, like breaking down the barrier, that wall between the audience and the band by literally getting down into the audience. And how's it been since COVID? It's the first time you guys have probably ever not gone down into the audience, right? How's that?
Well, yeah, COVID was a blessing and a curse, to go in the crowd and stuff and not. The samba, I mean, the guys in the band will tell you, since I played trumpet and I'm in a crowd full of drunk people.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Not a good thing. Get some teeth. Yep.
Yeah, my teeth are all chipped. It's like, it was.
So you were happy when this came on. We're going, I'm good. I don't have to go out in the audience.
Fuck yeah.
With that trumpet,
people are really happy to see you. And if you're in the crowd and you're playing trumpet, the first thing to do is slap you in the back. You never do that to a trumpet player. That's extremely painful.
Yes.
I know. I'm always weary when I'm playing next to Scott because I'm always afraid I don't want to bump because I know how bad that would be. That's I'm always looking out for you, Scotty.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
So Asdru, you guys have a lot of stuff going on. We have a couple clips at some point we want to show, but talk about you guys tomorrow. You're dropping a new single.
Yes.
And we actually, Damon sent it over to me and said that we can kind of debut a little piece of it. We're not going to debut the whole song, but we're going to debut a clip of it. But before we do that, talk a little bit about it because it's kind of unique. It's a collaboration.
Yeah, the beauty of this collaboration goes back to, I guess, in some way honoring my big brother. One of my big brothers that you always used to like to go to disco parties, and remember the girls with the crazy hair, but it was, my parents used to call them escobas, brooms, because they would paint their, they would spray their hair.
Big hair.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't punk rock. It was.
You have to ride in a car like this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and every car clubs and all that shit. Anyway, so it's with Lisa.
Oh,
nice.
And
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the Cult Jam, yeah.
Lisa and Cult Jam.
Yeah.
so did you do that with the Full Force guys? Were any of those guys?
No,
part
it was
of
just Lisa. It was just Lisa.
okay.
And we got JJ Fat on it. Remember there were the other girl hip hop. They're
Yeah.
awesome. And they're still grooving. They're still grooving. They're still moving.
JJ Fad, LA hip hop OGs.
Yeah, we have a lot of tracks with LA people. We're hoping we could get your homies on there.
I know. Everybody was talking about. We be in the rehearsal talking about it, and it will happen.
It will happen.
Yeah.
But then COVID happened, and when we were all like up in the air.
Yeah.
I mean.
So when is this? Is this coming out? When is this coming out?
Is it a single or an album or what is it?
It's a single and it's coming out tomorrow.
And I got a clip. I got a clip lined up right now. Let's check it out.
Okay,
Yeah?
let's critique this right now. Let's
All
see.
right, here we go.
Okay.
It's called.
Remember, it's gonna be. It's either this or this, right? Thumb up or something.
Here we go. It's called Fellas right here on the Rock and Talk Show.
There's things you know before you do. There's things you've learned before you do. Young will take heed and listen good. Dio Raulitos kicking knowledge for the hood. Some papas swiping left at 3 a.m. Some viejos texting for that booty también. No means no, don't take it too far. You don't wanna be that last vato at the bar. Something for the fellas. Something for the fellas. Ladies, don't get jealous. Don't get jealous. This is something for the fellas. Oh, you ladies, I know you got something to say.
It's something for the fellas, it'll make you dance. I'll go pa los chicos, ladies, shake your pants. Checking out the fellas on the party scene. I love the way he's styling in them fitted jeans. Yeah, I see you looking and I'm looking fine, but just like fine wine, I'm getting better with time.
It's me, Baby D, on the MIC. Down with the double JFAD. Coming through like a boss with a Cuban link on. Hair done, nail done, about to put the mink on.
It's me, sassy, I complete the three. Straight shining while I'm rhyming, cause I'm supposed to be. The J was for just, but now we're just jamming. Rocking on the mic, this beat is cold slamming. Still going strong, yeah, that's what they tell us. Ozomatli, JJ Fad, and this is something for the fellas. Hey,
Something for the fellas. Ladies, don't get jealous.
ladies, don't get jealous.
This is something for the fellas. And for all the brothers and sisters on her now. Lisa.
2, 3, count the ways and recite it. Players,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thumb up.
I like you don't want to be the last vato at the bar. I like that.
That's
line. That's a
awesome.
good one.
That rules.
Y'all dropping bangers.
That is awesome.
You know what? When you make music that clean and when you present the tones to the ear, when you can hear every instrument and everything has got space, and you guys let it breathe, and that's what's kind of tough with music today because everybody has something to say. But I can hear everything, and we're listening through a tiny little speaker on a computer. I can't wait to get that on my fucking big Tannoys, boy, with my audio file stuff, because that sounded good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Norwood, how
wrong with
much how much did Fishbone and you guys at Ozomatli tour together back in the day? It seems like you guys did a few tours together, which has been amazing.
We didn't tour. We didn't get on like a bunch of grinds.
Yeah.
That'd
be a hell of a tour, I'll tell you.
We done little strings of shows here and there, but it's a real love affair because I remember my first time seeing Ozomatli And it was like, because the first thing was them damn stickers all over LA. And everybody I knew was like, what the fuck is that?
That's
Like,
true, man.
it was the best
Think about
marketing
that.
ever, because the question hit
Yeah.
everybody I knew was like, what the hell is that? And then finally somebody knew, oh, that's this band Ozomatli. They wrecking shit over there at the Opium Den.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, that Fishbone Ozomatli tour would be insane. That would be a sellout everywhere.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Are you,
Oh,
are
we
you doing
told
it?
that before we went together. That was cool.
I wanted to say something about the stickers, man, because stickers are usually the curse of all bands. Because when you go backstage, you see 1,000 stickers, you never heard of any of them. And that goes from New Jersey to New England to real England, old England. You see stickers of bands and you're like, never heard of those guys, but you see those Ozomatli stickers everywhere. And you're right, man. It was like, what is it? Is it an artist? Is it a movement?
Yeah.
Is it political, man? Is it political? It's political, man. It was really
All of that.
It was a question mark. It was a real question mark behind it.
Made you think.
Yeah. And I was just gonna say, man, you guys, I don't know how many you made, but they found themselves on the right spots, you know?
There go stop
Exactly.
signs,
Yeah.
parking, no parking signs, and like
Right.
look around like that damn thing again. What the
Yeah.
hell is it? And then I love the Opium Dens. I went and I saw the band and I'm like, holy fuck.
We actually got sued by the city of Los Angeles.
I was just going to ask that. I was wondering, how many of those stickers did you have to clean up after you went and destroyed property?
It wasn't the stickers that did it. It was when we gave out all these stencils at our shows where people could spray paint.
Oh, yeah.
So all our fans were all from LA, man. We know who Chaka is, you know. So it's like, so we spray painted. I mean, we didn't do it. The fans did.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And then we were getting sued like $2 million by the city.
Oh my God. So how would you pay that? There's no way in hell you would pay that.
Community service or jail. I got more time than money.
Are you serious?
No. Our lawyer ended up calling, who's Lisa Sokransky. She's gangster, you know, and
Yes,
she said, they gave those out. We have no control over what fans do with them.
I grew up with a Lisa Sokransky. I wonder if it's the same one.
It's the same one.
Lisa Sokransky?
one.
She grew up in Brentwood.
Oh my God.
It's
That's
the same
great.
Lisa Sokransky. She grew up in Joan Crawford's house, the house right up the street from O.J. Simpson. And I haven't seen her since elementary or junior high school. Wow, that's a trip. If it's
Oh my God, David Moss, you know everybody.
I know he does.
If mommy dearest,
That's
the vibe of that mommy dearest didn't give you some kind of lawyer chops, you know.
Oh, there were some parties. There were some
Right.
parties in the Mommy Dearest house. Let me tell you.
So I want to ask you a question though, Asdru, because so talking about those times and then now where you are now, and with this new single coming out and working with Carlos Santana, I mean, what has this journey been like for you? Has it been great, amazing, horrible? Like this is pretty big.
And chip some teeth over it. So
Well, we know that, right?
It's been a mixture of all of that. I mean, life happens. For me, my biggest nightmare as a touring musician is not being there when something in your family happens.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, say that again. I didn't hear that.
Oh, it's just the biggest nightmare for me as a musician that's touring all the time is not being home when something happens. You know, like.
So how have you managed that? How have you managed the balance of
FaceTime.
all the great? I mean,
Well,
seriously,
FaceTime
from
didn't
what we were
exist.
talking about
Right.
to where you are now, how have you managed that?
Well, in the beginning, I mean, I had a wife, and
Did you lose her?
Thanks for bringing that up.
Oh,
But yes.
you did. Okay.
Oh, but
okay.
you know, we're actually really good friends because we got together. She was in Ozomatli and we voted her out in front of her. We were really mature. So anyway,
Wow.
yeah, we voted her out. But she still married me, poor thing. And we had two beautiful, amazing kids. And we're really good friends. today, because we were so young when we got married and this whole crazy life started, that we're like that one divorced couple, which is kind of weird to say that, but that we just get along, man. We still hang out. We talk all the time because we got kids, and we got one. My son is 21, about to be 22. My daughter's 20, and they grew up around all of this stuff, and we have them with all pictures with all these crazy people. They didn't know who they were until now,
Yeah. I
But
can
the
relate
one
to all
thing
that.
that we did was to keep never skimp on the kids, which is always the big one. Like when I was home, I was home. So yeah, the reason I didn't practice was because I wanted to be home and be a dad. I wanted to, and that's what I really wanted more than anything. I'm a musician. It doesn't mean it's not that stereotypical thing where we just party and shit, even though I did do that too. But one thing that Carlos told me that he remembers when we toured with him in the 90s is how much I was always on the phone with my wife and the kids. And because as much as I was living a dream, being a musician, man, I really wanted to be home and just be in bed with the kids and just like wake up in Sunday mornings, which just never happens at home unless it's Christmas, But that's the give and take of doing this lifestyle. And my ex-wife's her dad was always on the road with like Donna Summer and Captain Beefheart and Rick James and shit. So she knew the life. So there was nothing I could get away with. Like I would say, "Oh yeah, sorry, meet and greet was really long." It's like, that's bullshit.
Right. She already lived it. She lived it. Yeah, she lived it. She lived it.
Yeah, she knows.
No smoke and mirrors.
Speaking of your beautiful kids, I mean, I know I met your son long time ago. We went and had lunch like at Islands. I don't know if you remember that. That was a long time ago. I think he was like 8 or 9 years old, but he's a pretty amazing musician also.
Yes.
And how about your daughter? Is she a musician as well?
Yes, she is. She is a producer. Like she's studying music technology. She got a scholarship to go to Cal Arts.
Wow.
Nice.
Pretty badass. And her godfather is a great mixer in LA. His name's Manny Marroquin. So she's trying to get really good so she could work at Larrabee and with him.
Oh, wow.
Well, the cool thing about having your kid as a musician or your kids is that
free
I know
sessions.
that you
free sessions, right?
But you play with them. Like I've seen you do a couple things with them, and that's got to be all. I mean, Perkins just had his kid join at the Wanimi Beach Fest
right.
the day after you guys
played.
His kid Eden came up and played. So how's that for you to play with your son?
I mean, my son is just one of those kids that just pick up anything and could just figure it out, And he plays drums on this one track with Ozo recently, and I'm really happy about that. And my daughter is she's the one I go to when I need help with anything technological music, But
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, but I started a band with my kids, Asdru and the homies. But my son's middle name is Asdrubal, so it's his band basically. And we have some ringers in the band, and he just kind of rocks it out, Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Well, thanks for sharing that, because most people here have kids and support kids and work with kids, and the life on the road and life as a musician is hard. And so that's really inspiring from what you just said, and then how you've come to where you are right now with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just turned 54 and I've got an 11-year-old. So I started a little late, but I did get a lot.
Charles Chaplin over here.
I got a lot of noise out of the way. I got when I was young, I got noisy. Now I can be, but I could peacefully kind of like do shows. And with Scott Page, this cat's he played with Seals and Crofts in the 70s.
Yep.
I mean, this cat has been playing for so long and still having a good time with it.
Yeah.
But my question, I wanted to ask Scott real quick. Did you ever want kids? Did you just say, no, man,
It stopped me was the road.
okay? It's because your relationship with your dad is so tight. I always wondered.
I
if
know
you
it's
thought-
really strange. It's really strange. And now I kind of go look back and I go, wait a minute. Now I know why you have kids, because I took care of my dad through those last 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wait a
Don't
minute.
worry, Scott. We'll
So
take
I'm going to
care
hit a
of you.
Perkins.
We'll
and
take
you
care
guys.
of you.
This is my
Scott.
family here to take care of
No,
me.
Don't worry,
On
Scott.
my
Our
swan
kids-
song.
Yeah,
Because
our
I have a
kids
couple
are-
guys.
Our kids will take care of you. Our
Yeah,
kids
between
will
all
take
our
care of you.
kids, we got this.
Okay, everybody on air heard that, right?
Yeah.
This is a-
You know, I've got some guys in my life. Navarro didn't have kids, and a couple other my friends in their 50s. And you know, it's their dedication to music and art is unstoppable. And same with you. I understand. I just want to share time with my kid. Of the drum set, I found at 8 years old, but I was a kid.
Right.
Now I'm an adult and I know how to give love instead of just take it. You know, like, but man, Scott, you inspire me and your stories. And I think you would be a great dad, is what I wanted to say.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, he
I
is a
have
great-
I have neighbors and the kids, and I love them down this
You-
street.
Yeah.
They're my little.
You've been
I get to
a
go hang
dad
out, and then I
in
get
a
to
way.
leave.
Well, I can attest. Scott's been a great dad, semi-dad
Yeah.
to my kid, and some other my friends
Cool.
that I've introduced him to. That has just given. Scott's been amazing. So it doesn't matter if it's biological
Yeah.
or if it really doesn't. You have.
And you were great with
Doesn't.
Eden. Yeah, you were great with Eden backstage and on stage. And
Oh, he was fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was so fun. Well, it just reminded me so much because when I grew up in, like I said, I grew up in television with my dad he was a musician. He was on a show called The Lawrence Welk Show there. You might not remember Asdru, but so I was around musicians and music people all the time, man. So it was a very interesting growing up in that space for sure.
But Asdru, that was really nice of you to share that because it's interesting because where you came from, Mexico, you know, your heritage and the music that you embodied from that growing up, and what was really important to you, like what you said, the family aspect, but you still have gone from this part to here to hold on to that. I mean, seriously, for sharing with our audience and us, that's really amazing. And thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And it is funny too with our kids, you know, when they like yours are same age as mine, and think about all the people they met when they were younger, and it just went right by them. And it is fun now at this age. And my son's like going, "Wait, Dad, I knew him when I was little." I'm like, "Son, you motorboated her when you were 3 years old, 2 years old." You know?
Well, wait.
It's just so much fun. Like my son, you know, now he's seeing all these. Like he goes, "Wow, Dad, I knew that." You know, now I appreciate it. And it's so much cool to watch them, you know, mature and appreciate that stuff too. Because you know you're busy trying to be their parent, and you don't want to bring around all that stuff. But then they start realizing who we were and what we've done, and it's a pretty cool thing when my son starts asking me those questions. They all do, and talking about history and stuff.
Yeah, I had a question for you because I was interested because I went through and was looking up, checking out all the things you've done. What was the TED Talk? I love TED Talks, and I'm a guy in the tech space, so I listen to these things all the time. So what TED Talk? What was your TED Talk? What was that about?
We organized something a little different for the TED Talk. It was we developed a script with this guy named Josh Kuhn, who is a professor now. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but he's a professor now at USC. And he wrote out the script for us to do the TED Talk and talk about our nationality, our different religions and everything, and how we come together with music and our history, with talking about social issues that we're, being activists in many ways from our youth, and how the band started from the community center. And, it's that was a lot of fun. And seeing this guy, Josh Kuhn, develop our
Story.
Just general, I was like, wow, we did that. That's pretty pretty cool. So, yeah.
I mean, because those things are really, you know, you got to work like months and really fine tune those. So you got 22 minutes or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
you got to nail it and be right down. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. And the other thing I've noticed, you know, you work on a lot of, not just, you know, a lot of rock and rollers and stuff, but you also do like television, film and stuff. And actually it was interesting. I was looking at it, and Anthony Marinelli is a friend of mine. We both studied with Lyle Spud Murphy, that whole 12 tone system. And so I know him from there, but are you still working with him? Are you still doing stuff with him?
Well, I'm always working with him whenever the time comes. We did a couple commercials for Jaguar together. We've done a bunch of other projects. Man, I've been working on TV and film for a while now. That's why, I mean, I have a whole bunch of gear here that I do everything here. You know, I play almost every instrument really well with the help of Pro Tools. And
it's amazing how well that works.
Right? I wouldn't be able to do that before, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I went to school for composing for film. So I wanted to be Juan Williams, you know.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Max Steiner, right?
Yes.
So there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I used to belong to
You're
the
really
Max
good.
Steiner Society. I was a fanatic about that, right? I love film scoring. I studied with Earl
You've
Hagen.
always
You remember Earl Hagen too? Being a
man.
film guy, right?
I took a
wanted to ask
few
you- I
classes
wanted to
with
ask you-
Nick Grove.
Oh yeah, right.
What were you
I'm
saying?
going to
buddy?
ask you if you could live anywhere else and just, of course, be with your family, you know, so one day we'll be able to, you know, basically do whatever we want. It'll be up here. But LA to me is a sound and it's a smell, and it sounds like the way we play our instruments. And Kenny is a Michigan kid, and that's what you hear. The rest of us are LA bred and spread, and we're broken, and we sound it, and we got, you know, it's good. Where would you transplant and just kind of like drift off? Because I was thinking about, as a drummer, I don't want to be alone. I want to be with friends and family, but you know, I want to try to find out what else would go into my music. Because LA, born and raised, that's all I know is Mexico, drum circles, good food, and half naked people, because it's always hot. You know, but I was wondering, what about
Wait,
you?
what's the question? What's the question?
Where?
I want to know where he want to live besides LA.
I like Mongolia.
Come hang with me in
Wow.
Detroit.
Just when I didn't
Mongolia?
love the car, I wanted to go up in the hills and just live in a yurt and just
Yeah.
make my own beef.
What?
I like it.
You know,
That's cool.
I went to Mongolia.
That's awesome.
And I actually took some lessons in tube and throat singing, and then there was this guy that came up and he had the whole outfit, you know, with the Mongolian warriors, just that little hat and everything, and he came up and he started singing "O Sole Mio," and he was harmonizing to himself, and I was like, I need to hang out with this guy because that was bananas, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did this whole thing. It was incredible. So I took a few lessons with him. And I says, I don't have any cash on me. What you do is like, get vodka. So I got him some vodka and
Nice.
Wait, so he harmonized with
Universal
himself?
cash.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did you get to where you could harmonize with yourself?
Yeah, that's
I have to go back. I can only do a few things. I've actually got hired to go on some movie scores with Beltrami and different guys to do that stuff for different films.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get gigs out of it, but I don't want to appropriate shit, you know, because that's their stuff and it's sacred. So when people ask me to get all deep, it's like, nah, just go to the real guys. If you want something a little off center, I'll help you with that. But get the real guy, you know. Don't just get. It's like, you know. But yeah, the real guys.
I want to go back.
But
to
it's
watching-
amazing where. Oh,
Go ahead, Kenny.
guys, I was just going to say, he's amazing though, watching you play and where you take things too. Like the other when we did the Fort Wanimi festival thing, and was watching, and it's just like you take it to some really far, really cool stuff. You're like, even in a simple funky groove, I loved where you were like really taking and pulling these like harmonic minor, just weird, like these voicings where I was just like, it was beautiful, but you can, you know, it was some maestro stuff. So it was awesome. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
I want to go back to you watching your story and going, wow, we did that. Like, I want people to also know, talking about kids, you're deeply connected to your family. Ozomatli has Ozo Kids. You do music and shows specifically for kids. And I also just want people to know that, many years ago, I asked you to come to Watts. And I said, I'm working in Watts and I'm working with a bunch of kids. And I said, would you come do a show for the kids? Most of these kids have never seen a live show before. And you guys said, sure. And you came and we did it. Then and you said afterwards, anytime we're available, we'll come play for the kids. And you then came up to our camp and we had Flo Joe Elementary School, Florence Griffith Joyner Elementary School, which is literally at the time, it was one of the worst performing elementary schools in the entire country. And we had kids up there. And I actually have a little clip that I want to bring up and show of that experience. And it was short and it was sweet. And I mixed the clip. I kind of cut it a little bit, but here we go. I'm going to show that.
We got one more song for you before we hang out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we want to know, can we jump higher than we have this whole afternoon? Can we get more hype?
Yeah.
Let me see, come on. Here we go. Ho, go, ho, go, ho, ¿Cómo ves? Pasaría la vez como gris. ¿Cómo ves? ¿Cómo ves? ¿Cómo ves? ¿Cómo ves? ¿Cómo ves? ¿Cómo ves? Cuba y África, tu hermano, con todo mi corazón.
Man,
That's
I don't think I've
awesome.
ever seen so many smiling kids. Boy, they were having fun, man, right? That was
and those kids had never seen anything like that. You guys are just amazing human beings, and you put a smile on my face, you put a smile on their faces, and I love you for it, because you guys are just amazing, and that's a special thing. And as you know, we're in the process of opening up a music school down in Watts, which is very, very close. Finally, after it seems like 27 years of working on it, but we're finally getting close, and we think we're right around the corner. So, but yeah, we're like, it's 6:30. We're pretty much like at the end of the show. And
I know there's so much to
that was
talk to
fun.
you about. I know.
there's
By
so
the way,
much
that tenor
more to
player
talk
has a
about.
great tone. Ooh,
Yeah.
great sound. Great sound.
He's loud as fuck. Yeah.
Show goes by too fast.
Man, that's my kind of guy right there.
All right.
Sorry,
Well,
didn't mean to interrupt.
before we go into our goodbyes and our thank yous and our closing out, I do have to mention, Baltazar Getty and Abstracto, what you do with that. And of course, we already mentioned Anthony Marinelli, the trio retro with Cynthia, is it Cynthia Gomez? Cindy Gomez.
Yeah.
Amazing. You just keep
All this
turning
stuff.
out all these great projects.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome.
First of all, I love Balt. That's my homie for life. He's like the honorary cholo in my family. Definitely, I love him and his whole family. Yeah, but
You know,
yes,
I did,
he's incredibly talented too. Yeah.
I worked on a movie called MacArthur Park. Billy Worth and Baltazar played an amazing role, and Be Real was in it.
Right.
Yeah, we got
No,
to track with him
he's
too, man.
amazing.
I
Yeah,
know you do.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's amazing. I just recently met the manager of the Yoshiki, who I know. I don't know if you know Yoshiki. I know Perkins does, and I know he Baltazar knows him really well. But no, it's amazing to see your resume, if we want to call it a resume, or from what you've done since a young boy all the way to this day. And it's just absolutely a pleasure to get to know you.
Nothing
We
but
love you.
love.
We love you, Asdru.
Love,
Can you
man.
take- can you take us out on trumpet? Can you blow a little?
Yeah.
I was gonna play. You don't have to, but if you're in the mood.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Give us a little some.
The Tijuana Bull. Tijuana tax.
I gotta tell you a funny story. So with Ozomatli, you know, I always do like this thing. I did that with Carlos Santana. While I'm playing my solo, he gave me a solo. It comes right into my ear, and all of a sudden, I got my eyes closed and I'm playing my solo. And then all of a sudden, I smelled this really cool incense, and I thought, "Wow, that's cool." And then a voice comes into me and says, "Don't do that."
That's classic.
I look at him, I was like, "Holy shit!" And then the next day, all right, I promise I'll never flutter tongue again. You know, because you know with Ozomatli, it's like it's fiesta flutter tongue. You know, so
Right.
and he's a Miles disciple, so he wants me to do no vibrato, no funny stuff.
Oh, really? No vibrato, no nothing like that, huh?
Nah, he fucking hates that shit. You know, it's like just like Miles. Show me one record with Miles doing vibrato, and I'll tell you it's not as good as the other stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so he's no vibrato, no flutter tongue. So he comes up to me, and oh, that was crazy. And then the next day, I do another show, and that gives me another solo, and it's like, and I stop it. I look at him, and he's looking at me with a silver tooth. You know.
Oh my God.
Man, that's tough to play where you got to play with. But listen, I hide behind vibrato, right? It's like it's a great way to hide, my brother, right? A little flutter tonguing, a little stuff, and you get stuck. You put a bunch of juice on it, make a bunch of noise, and everybody thinks you're cool, right? It's tough playing straight.
Vibrato with Carlos, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. Wow.
Trippy.
All right, guys. Well, again, I will say we have to wrap it up. It's a great show. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. I saw you at Port Wanini, and then now to have you on the show has been amazing. I know
thank you.
all these guys. And for all of you out there joining, please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and subscribe to us and like. So Kenny Olson, it's up to you.
Oh, all right. Well, I'd like to
Wait. Time out. Asdru.
Oh, by the way, Lisa, and my boys are gonna be on Instagram at 7:00. Tonight at 7 p.m. So if you're bored at 7 p.m., it was amazing.
Coming up fast.
Okay, 30 minutes. Check out Instagram.
Yep, check it out. What's it under? What name? What is the name? What is it?
Ozomatli.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's on that. Oh, okay, got it. I didn't. When you said your son, I thought maybe it was a special channel. All right, sorry.
I think I got it. Ozomatli Instagram. Check it out, 7 p.m. All right, take it away, Kenny.
All right. Well, first, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Randy Fuchs at Artist Relations, Lou at Microphones, IK Multimedia, TPI Films, and From the Earth. And then we also got to thank our crew behind the scenes, producer and director Eric Loy, our assistant producer and creative director, Mark Armentato, and editor Graham Cooper.
And Norwood Fisher.
And tune in for our next show on October 14th. Special guest to be announced soon. Watch us on Facebook and YouTube for more details, y'all.
And on that note, Asdru, thank you. Don't leave us, Asdru. Just hang with us for a minute as we play our closing outro. And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and play the closing outro. Here we go.
Our new closing outro.
Our
That's
new
right.
closing.
See you next time on the Rock and Talk Show Beyond Backstage with your hosts, Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss. Executive producers, Sheila Conlon and David Moss. Producer and director, Eric Lloyd. Assistant producer and creative director, Mark Armentano. Editor, Graham Cooper. Theme music by ThinkX. Sponsors, IK Multimedia and Lewitt Microphones. Artist Relations, TPI Films. Special thanks to From the Earth, ThinkX, The Conlon Company, and Mac. Check us out on YouTube/The Rock and Talk Show, Facebook and Instagram at The Rock and Talk Show.
And there it is. And we'll see you